even in there. She didn't say anything about two other girls.
I also
She let them like they just sat in the house.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's really, it's a rough. It is a rough part of town because that woman, she breaks out of Castro's home. She runs into the closest man's arms that she finds. We come to learn he is also a wife beater. You can't throw a rock in Cleveland, huh? You can't throw a rock without finding a wife beater.
Town.
No, Terry, we were talking about it on Top Hat.
Yeah.
We got to end it like the movie The Crazies. We just need to send a drone over there. Just get rid of Cleveland. No more Cleveland. No need for it. The Cavaliers are terrible. When LeBron left, they lost everything. It's all done. Cleveland has nothing. I wonder why LeBron left. Oh, maybe it's because your town is full of sociopaths and serial killers?
But wasn't that wife beater such a wonderful internet personality? That makes me happy, is that he was funny and fun and that everyone loves his interview.
He got really memey really fast.
And there's another person that came out and said that she was the one who saved them and he was just there like talking about McDonald's.
He loved his McDonald's. And this is the one nice thing that I enjoyed about seeing him interviewed, his smile. And his smile was the closest thing I've seen to an actual black person smile when discussing McDonald's, similar to the commercials that McDonald's actually has. I was like, maybe they're not lying in their marketing. Maybe they're not racist. That black dude was thrilled. He pretended like you couldn't get it every day.
It's an important lesson to eyewitnesses from now on is that throw a plug in there. If you can get in there, throw a plug. That's why I always go like, memory foam mattresses. Those girls all were raped in the building, and they were shoved inside alligators, dead alligators. They would put inside, and those memory foam mattresses that I was sleeping on are just so expensive. I need one.
Well, I'll tell you, when I was rescuing that woman, my feet tend to really hurt. But not with these Dr. Scholl's inserts. That's for damn sure. And the pet egg I've been using.
It's too bad she had 9 miscarriages.
A lot of miscarriages.
This is what I'm just not exactly sure because we don't have all of the details yet of exactly how he separated them, exactly how he controlled them.
Honestly,
because he was not smart. He was not a smart person.
What's going to happen? The details are going to be very bad.
And I know there was details about his history and about how he had a history of abuse. And there was a woman that he was with for a long period of time that he started tracking where she went and locking her in the house and doing all this. He's just
He also sent his ex-wife's new husband to jail on child abuse or on child molestation charges.
What's he called? He's like his enemy. It's like his arch nemesis.
Yeah, this guy,
he's a total psycho.
His name's Colon. Is his last name? Colon. Okay, yeah, that's
they never say my name right.
In 2004, Colon was convicted of 2 counts of gross sexual imposition and classified as a sex offender for molesting 2 of Castro's daughters. Colon said Castro orchestrated the case, even served as a witness at Colon's trial to divert attention away from his own crime.
I'm also going to say that this woman has not very good taste in the dudes.
Oh, pretty bad.
Maybe not.
I don't know if he was also pretty much an innocent in this situation. I just think that Castro is I think there's 2 types of sociopaths, as we could see, like Jeffrey Dahmer. There's a lot of that, right? Where there are people that are sort of retarded, that stupidity turns into sociopathy because they literally could not understand any empathy because they can't understand perspective. Yeah. And then there are people who do understand perspective, like Ted Bundy or like John Wayne Gacy is a very good example. Someone who is a very smart person who's a smart person who believes that they are above society and believe that they can like BTK, like fucking Dennis Rader.
Yeah.
Right? They believe that they can impose their control on society because they're better than society. I just think this Ariel Castro guy is just a disgusting animal.
He is.
And
he really is.
But I can't believe that he got these girls to stay there for 10 years. And it was also like they got picked up on the same road over the same week. There was one road that he picked them up after they were just got in the car. It's the year.
Well, they just got in the car because they knew him because they knew his sister and his daughter and things like that.
That's right.
But if you did this in Williamsburg, I could understand it because they'd be like, "Hey, you guys are up in an attic. Sure, you're chained up, tiny rooms. Have you seen the rent? Have you seen the rent prices in Williamsburg?
Seen it?
Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? $900 a month?
This show is slowly turning into you just sitting on a stoop with a
rent in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Well, as we'll see from some of the other cases we're going to cover today.
Yeah, and we'll keep you up to date on the Castro situation when some good details emerge.
Yeah, I just want to hear that he dressed up as a skeleton and then went into each room going like, "Hi, Mr. Bones." That's the kind of
That's
detail
what you
I
want to hear. Yeah.
Yo soy Señor Skeleton. Yo soy Señor Skeleton.
You don't like my if you don't like my skeleton costume, I will take you to the dog leash and I will tie you to the tree.
Fat guy still, though.
But as we'll see from some of these cases, people are fucking idiots.
Oh, yeah.
People are morons. Do we want to start with the monster of Amstetten?
That's what I want to do, indeed.
Joseph Fritzl.
Now,
Fritzl.
did we cover him on a previous podcast or only lightly?
We covered him lightly. But Fritzl, he's nobody to brush under the rug. This guy is the real deal.
This guy is the Rupert Murdoch of trapping your family and raping them for kids.
He is amazing at it. He's a mogul. If tears were money, he would be a billionaire because he certainly caused more than $1 billion of those.
My God. All right. Well, this is a man, a very quick overview on his crimes. He kept his daughter Elizabeth shut in. God damn it. He kept his daughter Elizabeth shut in a basement underneath his house for 24 years while raping her and fathering 7 children with her, while his wife upstairs was none the wiser.
I mean, she was washing dishes 24/7, just staring at the wall, like acting like nothing. She definitely didn't hear anything. She definitely didn't see anything. She just sat there, just washing the dishes and just making sure that the things in the refrigerator, and just walking around, just like watching the TV, and every single night, and then probably just like cutting herself on the leg underneath her thing.
I don't understand
the amount of denial in both of these cases is insane.
With the Castro brothers, with the Castro parents, with this chick, I mean, how don't you know there was a human being? Like, don't you just, sense other people around, sense misery? Like, where does he go when he emerges underneath the house for 7 hours?
Covered in sweat and screaming, just like,
And women can
thank you, Martha.
Yeah, he's just going to bang his daughter. He must smell like sex a little bit when he comes up or something. I mean, there has to be some telltale sign that he's banging somebody underneath the house for 24 years. So where's the beginning
and the end of this scenario? Let's start from the beginning.
Let's start with the beginning of Joseph Fritzl himself.
Yeah.
Let's start with his mother.
Always starts here.
I don't know.
His mother regularly severely beat him as a child, kicking him even when he collapsed to the floor and bleeding.
But this is Austria.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is Austria, and not only is it Austria, but this is Austria during Nazi times.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the same thing when you hear a lot of these people getting beat in the 1940s and 50s. It's like everybody was getting beat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, she never hugged him or kissed him or told him she loved him.
He's a monster.
No.
Yeah. And she brought him into this world only to prove to his father that she wasn't infertile.
Oh, okay.
But so had a child to prove a point.
Yeah.
But then, after a lifetime of abuse at the hands of his mother, he flipped the fucking game on her, walled her up in bricks in her attic, and left her to die.
Well, that's what happens.
I have no problem with that, actually. So far, Fritzl's fine with me.
I understand why people do these things, when it comes, except you're going to sit in the living room trying to watch TV and you hear,
Let me out!
You're never going to be good enough, Joseph. You're never going to be good enough for your mother, Joseph.
Oh, you didn't build this wall strong enough for me to not yell through, huh, Joseph? Huh?
Shut up, Mom!
Hear me, Joseph, huh?
He kept her up there for 20 years.
So he knows how to keep a woman alive.
Yeah, he would feed her and he would keep her alive. But kept her bricked up in an attic for 20 years.
Man, so he had practice.
He had so much practice. This is a man.
This guy makes Castro look like a fucking amateur.
Absolutely, he was preparing for his sex seller for years.
This is a pro leaguer.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This guy makes the toy box killer look like
I'm actually
Ariel Castro.
Ariel Castro. And it makes Ariel Castro look like Ariel the Mermaid.
Think about
the Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
In 1967, Fritzl was convicted
sure he does
of
smell
rape
like fish.
and spent 1.5 years in prison. Here's the thing, though, is that
he went to 1.5 years in prison for walling up his mother in the room?
No, for rape. He never got caught for walling up his mother in the room.
She was in the walls.
The other one was a crime of passion, so he got caught.
Absolutely. And so Fritzl, almost said Castro. Fritzl, out of the 7 children that he fathered with his daughter, 3 of them he adopted.
Oh, well, he did the right thing.
Mm-hmm. But in Austria, most crimes are erased from records after 15 years.
What?
So, yeah, I know. It's some kind of like...
Mainly the Holocaust. Mainly the Holocaust.
I mean, after World War II, all of their laws got so softened up. Like, for murder, the most you can do is 15 years.
I don't understand.
Henry, do you want to go on a trip with me to Austria?
Let's go have a experience of the senses.
I've got a one-way ticket for you. I'll be coming back.
He was also a suspect in 2 other cases and rumored to indulge in indecent exposure. It was also alleged that he raped his wife's sister. But when he went to...
It's safe to say that he was not a friendly nor nice man.
No, but I would
you
like
can't
to see
sit
him...
down to dinner with him because he picks up the turkey and starts fucking the turkey.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, I love this turkey. Yeah, I wish it was my daughter. Oh, yeah. Where is my daughter?
Interesting. I do like the idea of him just flashing a group of people and then just be like, Fritzl did it. Come on, Fritzl did it.
In 1972, he gave up on this mail-order lingerie business that he was working on.
If I could count on my fingers and toes how many times I've started and given up on my mail-order lingerie
So
business.
the lingerie was for men? Is that the deal?
I don't know.
Okay. Male lingerie
Also, it's
business,
just
or is it just a man running a female lingerie
How is
business?
he selling it?
mail
Is he
order.
Oh, mail order lingerie. So people would just get their lingerie and they'd be like, I think this is just a bunch of knives.
The problem is that he kept with hand delivering it and showing up being like, yeah,
this is how you
look
wear
real
it."
good in your tits. Yeah, I want you wrapping it. Yeah. You got a daughter?
That means there's a woman out there right now, or there was a woman out there who was wearing his lingerie during their most intimate times, lingerie that Fritzl had probably touched and drooled on and slobbered
We
all
probably
over.
tried on his daughter for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's got to be a creepy. That's when you throw away as soon as you find out about this.
The tale of the haunted panties.
So, and then in 1972, he gave up his mail order business to become what else? A landlord.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
thing, man. Landlords are all sadists and serial killers. Castro, you could argue, is just a terrible landlord. And Fritzl is the same way.
They're very. I mean, they're like micromanager landlords.
Yeah. And in 1977, that's when he started sexually abusing his daughter when she was 11 years old. And he started building his prison cell, like his fucking cellar, in 1981. She didn't go in until 1984.
It's just so crazy the amount of premeditation.
Years, and how he got her into the cellar. Totally fucking Buffalo Billed this chick. He built the entire thing. It was all ready to go, and then he was like, Elizabeth, I need some help putting the door on. And so he got her to put the door on. She's like, Daddy, is that good now? And he goes, ha 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 ha, you're in there now forever. And
that's horrifying.
That's a great switcheroo. That's a good thing for dates for you as well. That's how you can keep them around.
Oh, I can't wait to go on more dates. They've been going amazing.
Oh, my sweet little daughter, I wonder if you look down into my new super secret safe room, you'll find a lovely box of chocolates.
For some reason, when I thought of him just making the room for 3 years, I thought of Noah building the ark.
Yeah.
It's a very similar sort of passion you have to
Same
focus
time,
on something
and what's
that long.
Martha doing? Is Martha just doing dishes while he's in the other room going sawing wood,
Yeah,
and
just making his
putting up
torture chamber.
soundproofing and just being like, yeah, this is a perfect place for me to rape somebody.
Mainly our
Just,
daughter.
sitting up there just being like, do you want corn for breakfast, Fritzl?
Fritzum?
well, Elizabeth, of course, after enduring years of abuse from her father, had run away a couple times already. And
At this point, but at the same time, I just feel like even Elizabeth, don't you feel something coming?
Yeah.
When he's got the big room coming and the daddy's fucking crazy. Look at his eyes. His eyeballs roll around in his head like he's looking at it like you're a fucking sack of gold coins.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you're going to, when you build the door, and it's like there's no sense of dread.
None whatsoever. I'm sure there was. And then it was just like, okay, this is finally happening now.
Well, I'm here, so might as well make the best of it.
And so when she disappeared suddenly, he told everyone, she went off and joined a cult.
Most reasonable thing.
He made her write a letter, and this is one of the genius parts of his plan.
Brilliant.
So throughout the years, he would make her write letters to her mother. He would travel to another town and then mail the letter from that town. So the mother
seems like a lot of work.
Years.
It's just such a crazy hobby.
He even
I don't know how you people find the time.
He even went as far as to record her phone conversations, record her voice, and then would play them for the mother.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. One time she called, and it was even though they had just gotten a new unlisted number, and the mother, Rosemary, was just like, I don't know how she got the numbers. This is weird.
Yeah, she's in the basement.
I think Rosemary had a fucking brain tumor.
It's
I think
very
that
possible
Rosemary
she
was like just like
mildly
not
mentally slow.
I don't know what she was doing. Her eye was not on the prize, that's for certain.
No.
Yeah. And
know.
she had down in her little cell, she had a TV and a VCR.
Cool. That's the highest technology for the time.
A Bug's Life is on VHS.
Now suck your father's dick.
All right. My goodness, that's a little much, I think, huh?
Well, she had her first
during a Bug's
child.
Life? It's an animated movie. You can't suck a dick during an animated movie.
She had her first child, Kirsten, in
what a pretty name.
Second child, Stefan, in 1990. And those two stayed in the basement for their entire lives up until they were discovered.
And when were they
left.
discovered?
They were discovered in 2008.
2008.
God damn it.
Yeah. They were.
So they were 17 and 18?
Yeah, and Stefan.
But how did they stay in the... I don't understand how you don't overpower the man. How don't you
I think
fight
at that
the guy?
point they were pretty. That's their whole. I understand the babies because they don't know anything.
Yeah.
But this woman, at some point, see, that's the thing. I'm not victim blaming whatsoever, but it does boggle my mind.
I was talking about Jackie.
Like,
Jackie's very strident in her beliefs, but she was saying the same thing about how, like, if you captured Jackie, if you tie Jackie, it's either
Jackie Zabrowski.
Yeah,
of course.
you're gonna have to murder her.
You would have to murder
her. You have to murder.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'll roll around. My big thing's I twist like an alligator.
Yeah.
I grab and I twist. Grab and twist.
They give you the right food. They give you that new Pizza Hut with the cheesy crust.
Well, I'll say anywhere as long as I'm appreciated.
Exactly. They'll give you 1 hour of performance time every single night. You'll be just fine.
No, they had when these kids finally came
The cops came to rescue Henry Zabrowski. He was kicking
hilarious.
and screaming. He wanted to stay the whole time.
They had to do therapy with them as far to get them out into light and sun because they were in a tiny space their entire lives. An open room fucking freaked them out.
Oh, I bet.
And in fact, Stefan has permanent spinal damage because the cellar was only 5'6" high.
Oh, come on, Fritzl! It took you 3 years to build that. Put a ceiling on there.
He was 5'10".
That's pathetic.
So he was constantly crouching, and his spine is permanently curved. However, he did expand it at one point. Well, not he didn't expand it. Elizabeth expanded it. I mean, he directed her into expanding another room.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice.
You're gonna have a family down
whatever the lady wants. That's what that was his motto.
And then in 1992, Lisa, the third child, was born, and this is when Fritzl starts taking him out of the basement. Here's what happened: is that the baby was crying a storm up, and Fritzl. Not only was his wife living there, but he had tenants in this house. Like he was a landlord.
He was doing Airbnb. That's rough.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
There were dozens of people who came in and out of this house all throughout this entire ordeal, and so he was afraid that the neighbors
People are so fucking stupid and bad. People don't know how to. We can't protect ourselves.
No, I mean these guys. I mean the cellar was completely and totally soundproof.
He was a true maniac. He was a true fucking pro.
And so he brought the baby up to try to get it. Like it had a piece of string tied around its foot or something. Like it was something with string. And so he brought it up, and then the wife walks in, and he's like, "Look, Elizabeth sent us a baby." And he just said that Elizabeth had dropped off the baby in a cardboard box and left a note just saying the child needs looking after.
God, this wife believes a lot of things.
What a fucking moron.
He did it 2 more times.
I just don't understand.
And he's like, she's in the cult. I don't know what she's doing there, but she keeps dropping the babies. I guess we'll have to take care of them.
After a while, just like, what are you even...
I feel like the wife needs to just go to prison even longer than he did for believing all of his bullshit.
What does she do now? Is there any interviews with Rosemary?
She is in seclusion. She lives in Linz.
Yeah, of course.
Seclusion in the West Wing.
Yeah, and she tried going and contacting Elizabeth. Elizabeth's like, no.
Yeah, no.
Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. What's Elizabeth up to?
Elizabeth is a lot of her.
Well, she started a new bikini line. I heard that she's doing a whole like surfing thing. It's really great. She does. It's Austrian surfing. They're trying to pump up their surfing.
I didn't realize that there was a large surfing culture.
Yeah, what they do
Austria.
is they go out to the sand pits. They have these big sand pits, and they just like
they spray paint them blue.
They stand on sort of like crude wooden boards.
Sure.
And they call it surfing.
Austrian surfing.
Surfing.
Snurfing. Go to the Snurfing.
So after Monica and Felix are born, and he keeps bringing them up to the wife, and him and the wife are raising these kids. The first child, Kirsten, becomes like just fucking gravely ill down in the cellar, and Elizabeth is begging him, like, you have to take her to the hospital. We don't know what's wrong with her. And he concocts the plan that he concocts is